Is that not a beautiful sight against that clear blue sky? The old glory, as I think they used once to call it. And I have found my way to a really what I'm hoping and what I think is going to be a real special place. This is the Lewis and Clark Interpretive Center here in Sioux City, Iowa. I think I'm in Sioux City, Iowa. I've been staying in South Sioux City, Nebraska, and one city is just across the bridge from the other. And if I'm not mistaken, I woke up this morning in Nebraska and I got on the bridge and crossed over into Iowa. And I'm going to bring you along for a albeit a short walk and talk here into the Lewis and Clark Interpretive Center. And I would imagine that this is going to be a one of those places that you come to visit that you just you don't forget. You know, look at the sculpture of this buffalo right here, and I would think that's probably life size. Look at that. It sure is. I think that buffalo is life size. Wow, isn't that something? All right, so see if we can't find our way in. I was actually watching a Ken Burns documentary on Lewis and Clark just a couple nights ago in anticipation of coming here. And we are right along the Missouri River, and this is where Lewis and Clark came along on their way to the Pacific Ocean. Look at this little prairie dog here. Wow. And over here you have a deer. Boy, these sculptures are just beautiful. And here's a grizzly bear. Those guys didn't know quite what to make of the grizzlies when they were first encountering them. Look at the size of that. Isn't that something? What a beautiful sculpture. And back across over. There you go. And then just over here, you actually have a sculpture of Lewis and Clark themselves. Now I can't imagine that these are life-size. But their journey was known as the Spirit of Discovery. Isn't that something? Look at that sculpture. They brought one of these big dogs along with them. Wow. Look at that sculpture. This would be Lewis on the right. And Lewis was the individual chosen by Jefferson to lead the expedition, and Lewis asked his friend Clark to come along. And there's the dog. That's dog's name was Seaman, S-E-A-M-E-N, Seaman. What a statue! Wow. All right, now we'll go inside and see some of the exhibits here. It's actually one building, two attractions. This being the Lewis and Clark Interpretive Center, and then they also have the Betty Strong Encounter Center. And I'll be honest that I don't know who Betty Strong is. I know who Betty White is. I know who Betty Crocker is. I know who Betty Ford is, but not Betty Strong. So let's just come on inside. It's free admission to come inside here. Look at that. Oh, and here's their dog right here. Look at this. wondering what to make of the little prairie dog.
Is your first time here? Yeah. So we tell the story Lewis and Clark when they're here in Sioux land. We have various animatronics that help us tell the stories. Mrs. Jefferson.
Wonderful. Seaman the Newfound and the Prairie Dog. Seaman became a valuable member of the Lewis and Clark expedition and a friend of the explorers, thanks to the soldiers who documented the journey. We know much about Seaman, who was misidentified as Scannon until historian Donald Jackson corrected the error in 1985. Famous for his large size, helpful attitude, and swimming ability, Seaman was well equipped to serve on the expedition. He caught beaver, squirrels, and even an antelope to help feed the soldiers. He even helped save their lives. Boy, what a nice exhibit. Want to enlist as a boatman? Here's what you have to do. Know how to load boats. Watch the river for snags and sandbars.
That's a stamping station?
Okay. Okay, sorry for the interruption. This is it's a stamping station, so you get I guess you bring some paper and you get a stamp. Look at this. Star Spangled Banner. The 15 stripe flag was flying over McHenry and Baltimore when British forces attacked on September 13, 1814. There's a story of the Star Spangled Banner. Boy, what a nice place. Here's some prairie dogs and Siouxland art contest. So they had an art contest of prairie dogs. I'll share some of these with you. That's by John. Here's Naomi. This is Keating's rendition. Now here's one with a mask. This is from Maya. What a nice exhibit. A day in the life of the expedition. Exchanging gifts, distributing peace medals, certificates, and tobacco, beads, and other gifts was a common part of the frontier diplomacy in the 19th century. There you see. Medals. A sled. Thick buffalo wool over the ribs served as a seat for the Hakazunta riders. The center's sled is made of buffalo rib, half from the right side and half from the left. Elk rawhide binds the ribs. Chokecherry sticks hold the ribs apart. Look at that. There's a pop gun. Boys pretended to do battle or go hunting with these wooden toy guns to chop pieces of wadding. I can give you another look from the top. There you go. All types of nice little items here to look at. There's a little dowel. And there's Silvana Hilgenberg. She's not on display. She's actually a visitor here. She's from Brazil.
I got some books for my
And
students.
she got books for
Come
her
in here, I'm going to
students.
show you something.
Okay. So Silvana wants to show me something.
I am a magician.
You what?
I'm a magician.
You're a magician?
Can you
Ooh.
talk to me, please, Mr. Jefferson?
I've dreamed of finding the rumored direct route to the Pacific Ocean, known as the Northwest Passage. The Spanish, French, and British also want to discover that Northwest Passage. But the nation that finds it first will control North America's destiny. In January of 1803, I wrote a secret message to Congress. I requested funds for an expedition led by my former personal secretary, Meriwether Lewis. Congress granted my request. In June of 1803, I sent instructions to Lewis. I described my hopes and his responsibilities. I included the following instructions. Find the Northwest Passage. Carefully record what you observe and learn. Make 2 copies of your records in case one is lost or damaged. Record longitude and latitude so that maps may be made. Record descriptions of the natural environment, weather, and climate. Develop friendly relations with the native peoples. Learn about their tribal nations, their goods, languages, laws, traditions, and attitudes. How they farm, fish, hunt, create art, and battle in war. Give them peace medals and other gifts. Arrange for influential chiefs to visit Washington, D.C. Captain Lewis, I give you absolute authority to carry out this military mission of exploring the West. May you and all who serve in this mission safely return with information that will benefit the scientific, commercial, and national interests of our great and growing country.
Wow. You're magic. How'd you get him to talk like that? Now let's do the big test. Who is that?
Thomas Jefferson,
Oh, you're good.
the president.
Oh, yeah.
You just push here.
Now what number? Oh, you just pushed there. Oh, you're very sneaky. So what number president was he?
I don't know.
You don't know that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Do you
No.
know?
Yes, he was the 3rd
The
president.
3rd.
Here's some of his. Look at that.
You see that he's looking at us.
There's some of the privates that went on the trip. A judicious choice of men. Our party is of the greatest importance to the success of this vast enterprise. William Clark in 1803. Look at this. A private's possible bag. So this is what a private might have taken with them on the trip. Very nice. Here you got beautiful. See what's around the corner. Wow. This is Sergeant Floyd.
The only one that.
Yeah.
My name is Charles Floyd, one of 3 sergeants on the Lewis and Clark expedition, instructed by President Thomas Jefferson to find and map the Northwest Passage that will open our country to great prosperity. It was August 1st, 1803. I was 21 years old, a constable, carrying mail between Louisville, Kentucky and Vincennes, Indiana Territory, when Captain Clark recruited me, one of the first 3 permanent members of the Corps of Discovery. He and Captain Meriwether Lewis saw leadership ability and physical strength in me. They made me one of their 3 sergeants. Captain Lewis later would call me a young man of much merit. As a sergeant, I commanded a small squad of soldiers. I rotated work on the keelboat and supervised basics of camp life. This freed the captains to work on the expedition's diplomatic and scientific objectives. As a sergeant, I was required to keep a journal as a record of our voyage, in case the captain's journals were lost. I was proud to serve on this mission into the treacherous unknown, to carry out my duties, to abide by my captain's orders to the best of my abilities, to cooperate fully in reaching our destination, the Pacific Ocean. With my own eyes, I would see the Pacific Ocean and encounter all wonder and hardship that lay before it. I would return home to tell the story. I died of natural causes on August 20th, 1804, here in this land, just 3 months after our departure from St. Charles, and more than a year before the Corps of Discovery saw the Pacific Ocean. My journal is all that is left to commemorate my part in this important expedition.
Wonderful.
We embarked early.
Savannah, you are really good at pushing buttons. You know how to push buttons really well. Huh? Yeah, you can push my buttons anytime you want. Okay? Yeah, you can push my buttons. Yeah. All right, so here we go. Oh, maybe there'll be more buttons over here. Look at these. Uh-huh. This is none other than Lewis and Clark. Look at here. I gotta get Savannah to push the button. Look at that. Where's my button pusher? Push my button. Yeah, there you go.
All the honors of war. The only decent thing we could do. The men performed well, Clark.
Your reading was stirring, Captain.
Precious little. You spend months thinking of everything you could possibly need on an expedition so important to our country, but somehow you're still unprepared for moments like this.
But surely, under the circumstances,
I keep thinking if only I'd recognized his symptoms sooner.
it all happened so fast.
I know.
You mustn't blame yourself, Captain.
Sometimes I wish I had your common sense, Clark. Of course, that's why I insisted you share this command in the first place. I couldn't have asked more from any man today.
Everyone was more than willing. Besides, you couldn't have found a more handsome spot on the bluffs.
I only hope the grave is left undisturbed.
The coffin should help. We buried him as deep as we could.
God forbid we ever have to make another one.
I'd be surprised if we didn't.
Who knows what lies ahead of us? How do you think the men are holding up?
As well as could be expected. Some of them are pretty young.
And death a stern teacher, I know. Sergeant Floyd was well thought of, bless the man. We need more like him. Do you think Gaz can handle his command?
Yes, sir. Put it to a vote of the men.
Some of these roughnecks, especially a deserter like Reed, I don't know.
You better push on, sir. The others got much sleep last night and we'll have to make camp soon. You tell how much longer this good weather will last.
It is a beautiful evening. This land is something special, Clark. What we're doing here, the service to our country of honorable men like Sergeant Floyd, well, it can't be in vain. There's no doubt in my heart whatsoever.
All right, there you have it. Straight from their mouths themselves, Lewis and Clark. I would imagine Lewis is on the right there, and Clark on the left. And here's where they buried Sergeant C. Floyd, August 20th of August, 1804. And look at the men here. Beautiful painting.
My name is Charles Floyd, one of 3 sergeants on the Lewis and Clark expedition, instructed by President Thomas Jefferson to find and map the Northwest Passage that will open our country to great prosperity. August 1st, 1803.
Here's the Floyd Monument. Spring of 1857, pioneers rescued the remains of Sergeant Charles Floyd from a crumbling bluff near Sioux City's south edge. An impressive burial ceremony took place, showing enthusiasm for building a monument to honor Floyd's memory.
Captain Lewis later would call me a young man much merit. As a sergeant, I commanded these.
Boy, this really is a nice exhibit.
I rotated work on the field and supervised basics of
Here we have the captains.
As a sergeant, I was required to keep a journal as a record of our voyage, in case the captain told me he was. I was proud to serve on this mission to the treacherous unknown. To carry out
Some of the weapons that they
to
took.
abide by my captain's orders to the best of my abilities, to cooperate fully in reaching our destination, the Pacific Ocean. With my own eyes, I would see the Pacific Ocean and encounter all the wonders and harsh
Very nice.
and glory. I would return home.
Okay, then let's go out.
Look at prairie rattlesnake. Not really a critter you want to come across. There's the American bison. There's the antelope. The skull and the horns. Boy, really beautiful artwork. There's a picture for you.
The nation that finds it first will control North America's destiny. January 1803, I will receive
Very nice.
I requested funds for an expedition led by my former personal secretary.
Look at this.
In June of 1803, I sent instructions to Lewis. I described my hopes and his responsibilities. I included the following instructions. Find the Northwest Passage. Carefully record what you observed and learned. Make 2 copies of your records in case one is lost or damaged. Record the longitude and latitude so that maps may be made. Record descriptions of the natural environment, weather, and climate. Develop friendly relations with the native peoples. Learn about their tribal nations, goods, languages, laws, traditions, and attitudes. How they farm, fish, hunt, create art, and battle in war. Give them peace medals and other gifts. Arrange for influential chiefs to visit Washington.
I'd imagine that's a
Captain Lewis
buffalo skin. Show you the artwork on the back.
Safely return with information that will benefit the scientific, commercial, and national interests of our great and growing country.
Boy, just a wonderful exhibit. And completely free admission. Very nice. What a wonderful exhibit.
Thank you. Don't forget to get our keel boat.
Oh, I gotta go look at the
What are you
keel boat.
recording for?
I have a YouTube channel
Okay.
with about 22,000 people, so I'll be sharing this with people around the world.
Okay. Well, there's a pamphlet there about who we are.
Okay, wonderful.
And this is about the keel boat.
Uh-huh.
You know, details on it. So.
And here's the keel boat.
And Floyd's journal.
Look at this. Wow. Look at that keel boat. I'll give you a nice little. Something. What a model. And then just behind it is a beautiful painting. Look at that. The most elegant piece of Indian dress I ever saw. That is how Captain Lewis described the tippet or shawl given to him by the Waite. Look at that, 1805. There's a beautiful little book.
So the U.S. Mint did a
Called the
series
Seaman's
in
Journal.
2004-2006, the Westward Journey, I think it was called, where they featured
All right, folks.
emblems from the Lewis and Clark
So
expedition.
that'll be your tour
And so when we opened
of
our
the
keel boat exhibit,
Lewis and
we
Clark
decided to give away nickels
Interpretive
that have
Center.
a keel boat on them. So help yourself. This has a lot of
Wonderful.
information on the keel boat.
Savannah's getting stuff for her students that she teaches English.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Wonderful
Like I said,
exhibit,
it's
huh?
really, go to usmint.gov.
All right,
and
folks.
Look for the rest of
So
them.
have a
And they're easy to get.
wonderful day. Oh, there's Mr. Jefferson again. Yeah. Have a great day.